Good morning, students. I, Ashutosh Pawan, Faculty, Department of BCA, SD Jain College, RR. In today's class, I am going to illustrate you the syntaxes that I have taught you in my previous class. In my previous class, I have taught you about the syntaxes of nested loops. I have also taught you about the types of nested loops. I have taught you that there are 4 types of nested loops. First type is nested while loop. Second type is nested do while loop. Third type is nested for loop. And the fourth type of nested loop is itself called nested loops. I have taught you that nested while loop uses a while loop inside another while loop, and nested do while loop uses a do while loop inside another do while loop. Similarly, the nested for loop uses a for loop inside another for loop. And when you use a for loop inside either while loop or inside do while loop, it is called nested loop. Similarly, when you use while loop inside do while loop or inside a for loop, then it is called a nested loop. And I have taught you about the syntaxes of all such types of nested loop. I am going to illustrate about the problems that can be solved using nested loops. As I have earlier taught you that those problems that require processing of more than one dimension of data, or those programs that produces more than one dimension of output, can be solved by using nested loops. And I have also taught you in my previous class that nesting of loops is done according to the dimension of data to be processed or according to the dimension of output to be produced. As for example, if you have to process 3-dimensional data, then you have to use a loop inside another loop inside another loop, such as you have to start the body of a while loop. In the body of this while loop, you have to begin a body of another while loop, and inside this while loop body you have to write another while loop body, because you have to process 3-dimensional data, or you may have to produce 3-dimensional output. Okay, now suppose you have to produce the output as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in next line you have also to produce this similar output, and the output of numbers from 1 to 5 is to be produced in 5 different lines. Hence we can classify that we have to produce the output in 5 different rows. In 5 different rows. What we have classified, or what we have concluded, that we have to produce an output in 5 different lines or 5 different rows. And you know well that when you have to perform a similar set of action for a number of times, then you have to use loops. Suppose this output is going to be produced in 100 different lines. Then, as you see that the output in all 100 lines is same. We have to produce an output of numbers from 1 to 5, but this output is to be produced in 100 different lines. Then we have to use a loop that will count the number of lines. The loop must begin from 1 and the loop must end at 100. Now, in each line we have to produce first of all 1, then we have to produce 2, then we have to produce 3, then we have to produce 4, and in the end we have to produce 5. This means that in each line we have to produce 5 different numbers. The first number will be 1 and the last number will be 5. So we have concluded that we have to produce an output in 100 different lines. 100 different lines. Here it is not 100 but it is 5 lines. 5 different lines. And in each line we have to produce an output that will start from 1. Output in each line starts from 1 and ends at 5. Now you have already solved a problem in C that write a program in C to output all numbers from 1 to 100, and to develop this program in C you must have used while loop or do while loop or for loop. Similarly, here we have to produce an output in each line that starts from 1 but ends at 5. This can be done in a similar way that you have done earlier to produce an output of all numbers between 1 to 100. So, if you want to develop a program to produce the output as shown here, then you must have to use nested loop, and the program can be written as include stdio.h, stdio.h, void main. As you already know that execution of the program starts from this function. Hence, now you have to first of all declare the required variables, and to solve this problem you have to declare two variables, one for each number. One variable will store the numbers from 1 to 5, and another variable that will be used to count the number of lines. Hence, I am going to declare here two variables. First variable is say column, and second variable say row. You may declare a variable by any name. It is totally your choice. Hence, I have declared two variables to produce the output shown here. Now, the variable declaration task has been done. Then we have to write the statement to perform value of required variable. Now, first of all, we have to process the first line. To produce this output of 5 lines, we have to first of all produce the output in first line, then we will be producing the output in second line, then we will be producing the output in third line, and then we will be producing the output in fourth line, and in the end we will be producing the output in the fifth line. Hence, the output is to be produced from the very first line. Hence, I am initializing the variable row with value 1. Since we have to produce first of all the output in first line, I have initialized the variable row with value 1. Now, as we have concluded that we have to produce the output in 5 different lines, hence the loop will check that we are going to produce the output in the fifth line or not. So we have to write a condition here. I am going to write a condition with the keyword while. The condition is written as while row less than equal to last value of the line is 5. The condition is written as while row less than equal to 5. Now the loop body starts. Till now we are going to process the output in the first line, and in the first line we have to produce the output that starts from value 1. Hence, I am going to initialize here the column variable with the value 1. Column variable is initialized with the value 1, and the last output in the very first line is 5. Hence, we will check here the value of column variable with the keyword while column less than equal to 5. Now, the value of the variable column is 1, and the first output in the very first line is 1. Hence, we are going to write here a printf message, here, printf statement that will print the value of the column variable. the value of the column variable is printed, and then the value of the column variable is increased. Call is equal to call plus 1. This statement will cause to store a new value in the variable column. Now, the body of the while loop is now closed here, and when we have closed the body of this while loop, we have entered in the outer loop body, outer while loop body. Hence, we can write here the statement that will be processed when the outer loop will be processed. Now we have to change the line. Hence, I am going to write here a printf message that will add a new line character in the output screen, and we have to write a statement that will store a new value in the same variable that we have used here to continue the loop for row. Now I am going to store a new value in the variable row as row is equal to row plus 1. Now we have written all the statements that are required to produce the given output. Now we have to close the body of outer loop. The body of outer loop is closed here, and the body of main function has been closed here. You can see that I have used while loop inside another while loop, and it is an example of nested while loop, or you can also say it is an example of nested loop, because nested while loop is a type of nested loop. You can see that I have used the same syntax of nested while loop that I have taught you earlier in my previous video lecture, and the syntax of nested while loop that I have taught in my previous video lecture is as while condition statements. Now I have continued a while loop, and inside this while loop I am going to continue another while loop, and I have written while keyword, and within the parenthesis I am going to write a condition. You can see that I am going to begin another while loop inside a while loop, and the syntax of nested while loop you can check with my previous video lecture will be similar as I am going to write here. This is the syntax of nested while loop. A while loop has been written inside another while loop, and you can check that I have used the similar syntax to solve the given problem. Similarly, you can solve this problem by using nested do while loop or nested for loop, and the syntax of these nested while loop and nested for loop has been illustrated or taught you in my previous video lecture.